Hey guys, Queen LaShawn back with another video. Before I jump into this one, take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and of course, leave comments below. Follow me on my social medias. This video, I am going to be doing a review on The Walking Dead, Season 9, Episode 5. This is Rick's last episode, and I don't know how to feel. My emotions are all over the place. I'm hurt. I am confused. I don't know what's going on. It's a lot, but let's go ahead and get into it. First thing that I want to touch on before I get too far into this video is that stupid horse. That horse pissed me off so bad. Like, I feel like the horse is to blame for everything. The horse threw Rick off, caused him to get injured. And then the crazy thing is, I understand the horse was scared, but you did not even run. Like, you just threw him off and you stood there. I would respect the horse more if you threw him off and hauled ass, but you didn't. You threw him off, you stood there, and then you later let him get back on your back and y'all rode off into the sunset. Like, why throw him off at all if you was gonna stay there? So I blame the horse for Rick being hurt. And I'm sticking with that. All right, so let's go ahead and really get into the episode. So we see in this episode the rise and the fall of Rick. I say the rise because we get to see him being glorified by pretty much all the people that he loves and cares about. We get to see Shane come back and have a heart-to-heart with him. They have like a little pep talk, if you will, in the car, where Shane just kind of lets Rick know, hey, it's your time. He asks him, how's his girl, talking about Judith. And I thought that was pretty comical because, of course, we know that Shane was sleeping with Rick's wife. And there was like a moment where they didn't know who the baby was gonna be, but Rick is in a place where he was able to laugh and joke and move forward from it. Like I mentioned, Shane just kind of let him know, hey, it's your time. And of course, he let him know, hey, it's time for you to wake up, keep on fighting, all that good stuff. We get to see also, one of my favorite scenes was Maggie and Michonne. Maggie finally makes it to where Negan is, and she has a talk with Michonne, and she kind of lets her know that she wants revenge. She got to see Negan kill Glenn in front of her face. It was brutal. There's a moment where Maggie kind of tells Michonne, hey, if it would have been Rick, that Negan would have been dead. And I felt her. I really did, because I'm just like, Michonne, like, she's held with her sword. She would have Negan a long time ago over Rick. So I really felt that that was a standout scene to me. And because of that, Michonne knew that she was right. There was nothing she could say. So she slid aside and let her go for what she know. And once inside, we get to see Maggie and Negan have an exchange. Negan is still being an asshole, and he's pretty much like asking Maggie to go ahead and end it. he tries to get underneath her skin. He tells her, you know, how good it felt for him to kill Glenn and the look on her face. And he talks about him bashing his head in, and he was just being disrespectful. She had told him Glenn's name, and then he acts again like he forgot his name, like he was just a nobody. And I just felt the way. I was like, I'm sure Maggie gonna get him. And then when he started going all that, she don't have it in her, don't punk out like Rick did, he started begging her to kill him so that he can go be with his wife and all that stuff. And I was just like, I would have killed him. I mean, I'm just being real. I would have. But I also get why Maggie did not. Because once Negan actually started breaking down, crying, and she really got to see that Negan is no longer Negan. Like, Negan is a broken man, and it's hurting him more to stay alive and suffer and to just kind of deal with what he did. Dying for Negan, in my opinion, would be too easy. And I really think that's kind of what Maggie saw. Because like she said, she came there to kill Negan, but what she saw is worse than dead. Like, Negan is gone, and now we have somebody else. Like, it's a different character. Like, Negan is completely broken at this point. And I think that Maggie got to see why they are keeping him alive. So we see Maggie, you know, leave out. And her and Michonne, they have like another little moment where they get to exchange eyes. And Michonne looked at the weapon and she was like, she didn't see any blood on it. There was no blood on Maggie. But they didn't get a chance to have like a conversation because they were notified that Rick was in trouble, and they had to hurry up and leave. So we get to see them go on the hunt for Rick. They go back to Rick, and of course, Rick is trucking along. He's doing the best that he can. He is losing a lot of blood. We see him try to stop the blood and stabilize himself. He is the whole time saying that he's trying to find his family. He gotta find his family. And of course, there are moments where he's blacking out and he is meeting up in his blacking out states with people that he needed to have heart-to-hearts with. So we get to see him have a heart-to-heart with Herschel. He apologizes to him, and we get to see where he's concerned about, you know, Maggie and her well-being, and Herschel kind of assures him that Maggie's okay. He lets him know that he doesn't have to find his family. Lets him know he needs to wake up. We get to see Rick admit that he is tired. And it was a lot. Like, I needed to see him and Herschel have that little heart-to-heart. Herschel got the apology that he needed. We get to see the scene where there are dead bodies and Rick is walking over them. He, of course, came to a sign where it said to stay out, dead outside, or something along those lines. But of course, Rick did not take heed and follow that message. So he went through the door and he saw all the dead bodies in he came in contact with Sasha, and he was telling Sasha they're all dead. And he mentioned, of course, still searching for his family. Sasha lets him know that he's did his part, like she did her part, and he needs to stay strong. She let him know like how monumental he is. Like, they all love Rick, and she kind of tells him, you know, hey, you did what you had to do. I did what I had to do. You keep doing what you have to do. Your journey doesn't end here, pretty much. She let him know that everybody draws strength from him, and for him to keep on moving. And of course, let him know to wake up. He woke up, and each time that he's told to wake up, he's like almost taken out by the walkers, or the walkers are like right there about to get him. So I thought it was very interesting the way that they did this episode. It was like Rick's final walk, and like I said, he came in contact with so many people. He got so much accomplished, so many things that he needed to say and things that he needed to hear. And I like the way that they did it. I really do. Then we got to see where Rick got back with the stupid horse, and now they were riding and leaving the walkers behind. And there is another scene where this time the horse hauls ass, and Rick is just kind of left to fend for himself. We see Rick walking slow. He's continuing to lose blood. He's getting weaker, and it's like the final scenes with Rick, where he's, making his way across the bridge. Walkers are coming. We do see the explosives, and there's another moment where he blacks out, and we see where the crew finds him, and him and Michonne have like a heart-to-heart where Rick is just kind of ready to give up, and Michonne lets him know, hey, we don't die. This is bigger than us. This is about all of us. And she kind of gives him the push that he needs. And it was just a beautiful scene to me. We get to see, how Michonne just grabbed him by the face. They kissed, and it was a lot. And I was just like, oh my God, that was the moment to me where it kind of started getting real. Because I was like, this is kind of like Michonne's farewell to him, if you will. And it was so sad. It was very sad. But we get to see Michonne tell him that he has to wake up. She told him he wouldn't find his family because, of course, they're not lost. She is his family. Judith is his family. And it was a lot for me. Here I start kind of getting a little teary-eyed. Then we actually see him wake up, fight the walkers a little bit more, and then the actual crew gets there, and we see Daryl, of course, picking off walkers. He's hell with that bow and arrow. And we see Michonne and the rest of the crew trying to get to Rick, but Rick kind of motions for them to not come. He wants to sacrifice himself. He, as Rick always does, he's being heroic, and he's willing to die He's leading the walkers away from where everyone is. He's trying to take as many of them out as he possibly can. And we then see Rick shoot the explosives, and there's a huge explosion that goes off, and my heart just dropped because I couldn't get past the thoughts of just Rick blew up in that explosive, and 9 years of having Rick on the show, and it was a lot. It was honestly a lot for me, and I just didn't know how to accept that. It was like, no, like, don't let Rick go like this. Like, in a fire, like, he's supposed to be old, in his bed, sleeping, and then he just kind of slips away. Like, I didn't want to see it that way. And then The Walking Dead played with my emotions. I was like all over the place when I saw that he got blowed away from the it's either he got blowed away or he jumped. I'm not sure, because of course they didn't show it, but we do get to see Rick is alive, and he's on the ground, of course, still injured from the stupid horse throwing him off. And we get to see, I don't even know what her name is, but the one with that crazy bang. I was kind of confused with the whole her saying she got an A, she got a B. I know that her and the guy on the helicopter, I'm still a bit confused as to what that was about. Like, were they trying to take somebody to study? Were they trying to just kidnap some? I don't know what that was about, but she was lying at first about having somebody, but she actually saw Rick, and she was able to talk the guy in the helicopter into coming down, getting her and Rick. And we do see Rick on the IV, and of course he has oxygen, all that, so he is getting treated. And when it went off, I was just so confused. I was like, man, what the hell? So Rick is not gonna die, or are they gonna take him to where they're going and kill him? Like, I was so confused, and I was so lost. So I admit I watched a little of The Talking Dead just because I was so lost. And I did see in the first couple minutes, they did say that Rick will no longer be on The Walking Dead, but it's not the end of Rick's character. They are, from my understanding, they're going to, I don't know if it's going to be like a spin-off show, or they did say original filming, so I'm guessing it's going to be something like, I guess, how Netflix has their original movies now. I don't know if they're going to make it like an original movie starring Rick, or if it's going to be something kind of like how Morgan went to Fear of the Walking Dead. I'm not sure, but they did say for sure that it's the end of him on The Walking Dead, but we will see more of Rick Grimes, and I was okay with that. So I was hurt, but at the same time, I'm anxious to see what's going to happen next. So we will find out together. And that's my review. It was a bit all over the place. Oh, Judith. Oh, gosh. I forgot Judith. I can't forget about that. The show went off showing Judith and she is her daddy's child. Like, we see strangers come, and Judith is she rescues them, and she introduces herself, and she is just like, her name's Judith Grimes, and I saw Carl in her, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, Judith is gonna be a little badass. She is her daddy's child, and I love that scene. It just kind of left me with questions of, are they now gonna fast forward and grow Judith up and she's gonna take over, or like how? It's so many questions that they left unanswered, but they did show the preview for the next 3 episodes, and I must say they look interesting, so I will be continuing to watch, and I will of course continue doing these reviews. If you guys like this video, let me know down in the comment section. Tell me how you felt about Rick's last episodes. Do you have any thoughts on it? Like, what do you guys see that's gonna be happening? Is there something that I missed? I just want to hear from you guys. Like I mentioned, subscribe to the video, and follow me on my social medias, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.